Hello, everyone. I am your presenter today. My name is Lunsford, and I am happy to be at Wake County's 2024 Teachers Annual Conference. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, I was unable to attend. So instead, I get to do this virtually. And because we live in a beautiful digital age, I am able to do this. So let's jump right into it. Today, we will be talking about digital media and how we can use it to positively impact our students and our own learning. As educators, we have committed to being lifelong learners, and digital media is one of those things that we must learn about. So let's jump right into it. I wanted to introduce myself. So, this is me. I am Asia Lunsford. I currently hold a bachelor's in elementary education with a concentration in math. I graduated from NCCU, and I am actually pursuing my master's degree there in instructional technology. Although I am still learning, I have learned a lot, and I cannot wait to present some of this information to you. I have worked with Wake County Public Schools for about 3 years now as a kindergarten teacher, and I have a background in kindergarten, but I also have background in preschool and first grade, and the most significant part of my educational journey and career has been my experience working in a Montessori school. I worked in Children's House, so I worked with children from the ages 3 to 5, and I just loved how they were able to learn and interact with each other. And a lot of what I learned then has heavily influenced how I teach now. So, without further ado, let's jump into digital media. I am going to stop my webcam, but I will still be talking. So, let's keep it moving. Oh, all right. What is digital media? Digital media encompasses all forms of media content that can be accessed and encoded digitally. This can include text, images or pictures, audio and videos, and lastly, interactive content. All of this can be accessed, viewed, and manipulated using electronic devices that are at our fingertips. So, this may be a computer, a smartphone, or even a tablet. Digital media is such a broad term, and I it encompasses so many things. But when we are using all of these things, we are digital citizens. Just means users who participate or use any of these formats. And as digital citizens, we have to make sure that we are upholding digital citizenship. And in order to teach our students how to be digital citizens, we have to learn how to do it ourselves. But what is digital citizenship? It is the responsible and ethical use of technology, primarily on the internet and social media platforms. It encompasses various aspects such as privacy, security, digital literacy, etiquette, and how to be responsible when participating in online behavior. As digital citizens, we have to understand the rights and responsibilities in the digital world, and we have to strive to contribute positively to online communities, all the while being mindful of our impact and how our actions can be reflected on others. As digital citizens, we have to make sure that we are upholding four key components. These include privacy. This is the ability of users to control their personal information. Um, this ensures that we have control over our personal information in the digital realm. Respecting and protecting privacy online fosters trust among users and promotes responsible digital behavior. By understanding privacy rights and practices, we are become more empowered and feel more confident as we navigate the digital world. The next one is digital literacy. And this is the ability for us to explore and critically evaluate online resources. By being digitally literate, we can make informed decisions and protect ourselves from any misinformation or scams. And it allows us to engage in meaningful discourse online with our peers, our students, or even our mentors. By promoting digital literacy, we ensure that all members of society can contribute effectively and responsibly in the digital world. The next component is security, very similar to privacy, but a little bit different. Security just safeguards our data and online identity from misuse. By practicing good cyber habits, so it might be making these very strong passwords or keeping our software up to date, we can protect ourselves and others from online threats. Understanding that these security measures also empower us to navigate through the digital world confidently. The last one is etiquette. This is navigating digital landscapes with respect and kindness. This can be in online interactions, and it allows us to foster a positive and inclusive digital community by practicing good online etiquette, such as avoiding cyberbullying and being mindful of the tone and communications. We can contribute to a safer and more enjoyable online environment for everyone. I know we don't live in a perfect world, but by understanding and upholding this digital etiquette, we can promote responsible and empathetic behavior in the digital realm. And this is very important for us to teach our students because they are heavily on social media, and teaching them to be respectful and mindful of others can just make that realm very a lot more inclusive and happier. Now, as I mentioned earlier, digital citizenship is important for us and for our students, but a big part of that is digital literacy. Now, digital literacy refers to the ability to effectively find, evaluate, create, and communicate information when using digital technology. Being digitally literate, we can make informed decisions. Sorry, we can protect ourselves from misinformation, and we can engage in that meaningful discourse. It just makes sure that we feel responsible. Now, there were 10 components of digital media literacy, but I'm only going to touch on five. But if you would like to research more, I do have the links at the end of the slide for you to research that some more. But I'm going to touch on the top five. The first one is that digital media is created by people just like us. These people have their own biases and opinions, and we need to be cognizant of that. And sometimes the media might not necessarily be for the mainstream, it might only be for one demographic. So we have to think about who made it, what was their purpose, and are there any assumptions being reflected in this content? The next one is that media has commercial implications. And all that means is there are ads that are being mainstreamed to us because of the things that we like and our wants. We have to make sure that we aren't falling victim to being consumers so that we can get some better aspects in a for a app that we're may using. It'll be like you pay $3.99 right now and you get excess amount of content. You have to be mindful to not fall for those scams, because they're just trying to make money off you. So you always have to remember, how does it help the creators make money, and how do the creators try to influence us? For example, have you ever experienced getting on a new website and the first thing before you even explored it is it says put in your email to get 20% off of whatever it is? That is a scam because now you're just getting a bunch of emails to you. So being mindful of these types of commercials can help us. Next is that media has political and social agendas. Just like I stated a little bit earlier, that people have their own biases and opinions. So certain media forms are going to be pushing those biases and agendas. So you have to make sure you're viewing things in their entirety and thinking about who and what is shown in a positive light. You don't want to exclude a certain demographic or culture within this. And what conclusions might the audience draw from this media? Are they only seeing one demographic? Or are they only seeing one demographic in the bad and the other in the good? Like, it has to be balanced, making sure that our students can see themselves in the media is important because that makes them feel more comfortable when navigating it. The next one is, can the audience decipher the meaning? Making sure that, again, the meaning is straightforward and that it is meant for your desired purpose. For example, my students are currently doing a project on the continents. I want to make sure that the media is showing South America in a positive light, something that makes it enjoyable and will engage them positively. So, making sure that my students can perceive it the way that I need them to. And how are different people portrayed in the media forms? Making sure that they see themselves and their friends in the media, not just seeing one demographic, but seeing various cultures in this in media formats. The last one is that each media is unique in its own way. They all have their own aesthetic and they all have their very own intended purpose. So you, again, need to ask yourself, what is the purpose? Is this purpose meant to engage my students? Is the purpose meant to teach them? Making sure that they are all aligned. And then remember, how does this media try to get your attention? Is it trying to immediately grasp your attention? Is it trying to keep it? Like, just being cognizant of what is going on in this media and how can you use it purposefully. Now, when we are using digital media, there is a framework that we have to make sure that ourselves are aligning with. The digital media framework is a model that helps us comprehend, analyze, and create our own digital media content. This includes components such as digital media platforms, technologies, audiences, content creation process, distribution channels, and the impact that digital media has on society. This framework helps guide us and researchers to effectively navigate complex the complex landscapes of digital media, and it provides us with a systematic framework for an analysis and development. So let's talk about those 9 components. The first one is reading media. This allows us to analyze and analyze the underlying agendas in media. It's more than just reading content, it's evaluating and analyzing different media forms to understand any underlying agendas. In essence, reading media involves visually decoding symbolic elements and actively engaging with the media to make sense of it. The second is media representation. This refers to how groups and cultures are depicted or portrayed from different forms of digital content. Media can be constructed by creators to shape perceptions and attitudes. It can influence social norms, stereotypes, and highlight certain perspectives while marginalizing others. By showing students how to critically analyze media representations, we can promote diversity, inclusion, and the accuracy of digital media content. The third one is verifying the validity of the content. We want to make sure that we are teaching our students new information and avoiding any misinformation. By teaching our students and ourselves how to verify this content before sharing or believing it, this allows us to teach our students about credibility and of the authors and various sources. The next one is ethics. This is showing responsibility and integrity in the digital media realm. Ethics guides our behavior and interactions with others. By respecting privacy rights, avoiding plagiarism, and adhering to policies of honesty and integrity, we can teach our students how to create things in the digital world while being truthful and ethically sound. And they can show empathy by understanding other people's perspectives and opinions. Everyone's opinion is not going to align with yours, and teaching your students that kind of helps them be more accepting of other people's culture. The next one is privacy and security. Again, like I mentioned earlier, this is just safeguarding our information and respecting the rights of people. Um, we by teaching students to be aware of privacy settings and understand how data is used and shared, we can help take steps to protect sensitive information from those who may misuse it. This is pivotal because we live in a time where these things happen. So just teaching these things to your student keeps it at the forefront of their brains. The next one is media health. This is my favorite. This is all about balancing your online life with your offline life. We have to teach our students that there is more to the world than just a screen. There are lots of technological advancements that are changing our lives in a positive light, but an abundance of it can allow us to lose sight of what's important. With so many influences from technology on our life, it's always a great idea to unplug and reconnect with your offline life. The next one is consumer awareness. This is again being cognizant of when you are targeted to spend money to get quote unquote extra content or getting an extension on your free trial or any of those things like that. The next one is community. COVID had brought this topic to the forefront. We saw that communities can be built outside of a classroom through discussion boards, peer feedback, and other formats. This shows our students how to communicate with media in an effective manner and build positive relationships with the media and with their peers, whether they be down the street or all the way in a different country. And the last one is making and remixing content. This just means editing content into something new. Um, there are lots of apps that give you a template, and you can show your students how to use these templates to make something new without plagiarism. So teaching them that plagiarism is wrong, but if you edit this and do this and toggle with it, you can make it your own. Now, my favorite aspect is how can we use digital media in our classroom? There are tons of apps, but I'm going to talk to you about my top four. My first one is Canva. This uses templates to create various forms of content. This might be anything really. Canva offers a wide a range of templates and tools for creating interactive presentations, infographics, social media graphics. You can create banners, you can create quizzes, you can create worksheets. There are so many things that you can use Canva for. It is one of my favorite apps, and the best part is it's free to teachers. So hop on Canva and just explore it. I have used it a lot in making worksheets and for making my own website, all the little pictures and things for that. The next one that is super popular is Prezi. This allows users to create dynamic presentations with zooming and panning effects and making it easy to create and engage in an interactive content. I really love to use this for my students when they're making their final projects. For example, I told you we were just studying about the continents, and one of my kids did a study of the animals in South America, and he had them in this really big tree, and he like panned from each animal to one another and talked about different aspects of the animals and why they live in the Amazon rainforest and all of those good things. So it's a really fun tool, and it's really engaging for the students and to see how their little brains work when they're using it. Next one is Genially. This is a platform used for creating interactive and animated presentations and infographics and quizzes. It's essentially combining Prezi and Canva into one website and making it a super fun one. It is one that I personally like to use for making my quizzes, but anyone can use it. And the last one is Vanoid. This is a fairly new one. It is an animated video creation platform, and it essentially allows you to make storyboards online. You do get a 2-week free trial, and it's really cool. I just used it for one of my classes for making an escape room, and you could make your characters and you can make the characters interact with each other. You can give them voices, you can do voiceovers. It was so cool. Um, this one is probably my top one right now. Now, not only can you use this content for activities, you can also use them for formative and summative assessments. Now, these are my top 3 digital tools for assessments. The first one is Kahoot. I've used this as a student and as a teacher. It is an educational platform that offers more game-based questions. So these can be multi These can be multi-choice questions, short answer, true, false, so many things. But it's very fun. Your students will love it. They sign in on their they can sign in on their phones, on a laptop, a computer, whatever they have, and it plays. And the best part is it also gives you a collated data sheet about how your students performed, which questions they did know, which ones they didn't, and all of those good things. I really love this as a formative and a summative assessment. The next one is Nearpod. It is a presentation tool where you can embed test and quiz questions. And the last one is Google Forms. This is one of my favorite tools. I use it with my parents. I use it with my students for tests and quizzes, but you can make surveys, send them out. You can embed the quizzes and things, and you can also get another data sheet with all of your information. Now, AI has become very popular in this day and age. I've used AI myself and I love it, but there are some things that we have to be aware of. Just like in digital citizenship, we do need to be aware of things. So Gen AI EdTech is an algorithm that can create educational content across a variety of subjects and areas. It's essentially integrating AI technology with education. We can use AI in a positive manner, but we do have to be cognizant of things that might happen. So, one thing that we can do when using AI and technology is asking ourselves a few questions about the validity of it. The first set of questions we can ask deals with the capabilities and limitations. How does this product indicate uncertainty or require human review? What controls do they have in place to identify hallucinations? This essentially just lets you look at the validity of the product and see if there's any space for human review. A very popular one is ChatGPT, and if you ask it a question, it will let you know. But some AIs might not. So just being aware of how it talks about its limitations is a good starting point. Also, mitigating biases. Like I stated earlier, everything has a bias. So just knowing what steps is the AI taking to mitigate biases is pivotal. And then we talked about this a lot. Privacy is of the utmost importance. So we want to know what policies and safeguards can the AI share to address these concerns. The next one is human oversight and quality control. How do you ensure feedback from teachers and students collected in this action? Another question to ask the AI is about evidence and the impact of it. And the last one is accessibility and the inclusive design. Because, like I stated earlier, we have to be knowledgeable on a lot of these things before we give them to our students. So, looking into what PDs are available to us when using different AIs is important because we want to make sure that we know how to use it to the best of its capabilities and to be able to answer any questions that our students may have. Now, how do we use AI responsibly? There is an acronym for this. It is called EVERY. The first one is we need to evaluate it to make sure that it meets its intended purpose. Remember, AI is here to help you and to be a guide and a resource, not a end all be all. Next one is to verify. You need to ensure that it is a reliable source that has no biases. So again, using it as a resource, not an end all be all, making sure you're double checking that it's giving you the correct information, not just believing it wholeheartedly. The next one is edit. You need to revise the content, ask some follow up questions so you can get a more concise answer to what you're looking for. Because most of the time, it does give you a very general and broad answer. So you want to really be able to get in there and dissect it and make sure that you're getting exactly what you need for your intended purpose. The next one is to revise. Again, AI is a great starting point, but it should not be your final draft. It is not your end all be all. That is plagiarism. We do not want to plagiarize from AI. We want to make sure that we're using our own content. And the next one is you. You need to be transparent and honest with not only yourself, primarily with yourself about when you're using these materials. Don't take 100% of the credit because, again, that is plagiarism and we are not upholding that ethics standard that we talked about at the beginning of digital media citizenship. Now, How can we use AI? I know that we've talked about all of the things to be mindful of, but AI is still a great tool. We can use AI in a lot of purposes. We can use it to make lesson plans, to create assessments, to make discussion prompts, to generate emails, one of my favorites, to differentiate activities. I have recently used AI to help me figure out some more hands-on activities to do during my small group lessons, and it has been very beneficial. I feel that it helps me reach all of my learning groups. And the last one, something that's really hard for me, is making learning objectives. So it can help you get a starting point for your learning objectives. In conclusion, digital media can help us empower ourselves and our students to thrive in the digital age. The information that I presented highlights the importance of digital media literacy in today's interconnected world. By understanding key concepts, recognizing digital citizenship, and knowing what digital media is, we can help our students navigate digital landscapes more effectively and help them make informed decisions and contribute positively in online communities. As technology continues to evolve, we have to make sure we are fostering digital media literacy the entire time. Now, I want to thank you for sitting through my presentation. I hope that you got something meaningful out of this. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me um, via email. And also, here are those resources that I mentioned. You can click on any of these links to help you. So, thank you so much and have a great night.